When the MiA1 came out last year, I was in complete shock. The kind of value for money provider was amazing and it had a great camera setup. It was hard to see how Xiaomi could do better, but they just might have. The new Redmi Note 5 Pro seems like a serious contender, capable of stealing the best value for money smartphone title away from the MiA1. So let's have a comparison between these two phones and find out which phone's camera is better, the MiA1 or the Redmi Note 5 Pro. But before we do, if this is your first time here, then a warm welcome to our channel, Techtitude. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. The links are given in the description below. Well, both the phones have the dual camera setup. First let's talk about the MiA1. The MiA1 has two 12-megapixel rear-facing camera, but the first one is a regular one and the second one is actually a telephoto lens. That means it's a zoom lens, whereas it just gets a 5-megapixel front-facing camera. With the rear-facing camera on the MiA1, you get that bokeh portrait mode. Moving to the new Redmi Note 5 Pro, it also has a dual camera setup very similar in layout to the iPhone X. But the first one is the regular 12-megapixel camera and the second one is the 5-megapixel shooter that is not a telephoto lens, but it just uses the depth for the portrait mode. Now moving to the front-facing camera, it has a 20-megapixel front-facing camera and via software they have implemented a portrait mode even with the front-facing camera, which is lacking in the MiA1. Let's have a look at the video recording. So this is the 1080p sample taken from both the devices. You can see the electronic image stabilization on the Redmi Note 5 Pro works really well and it has stabilized the video. On the other hand, the MiA1's video was shaky. But overall we feel that the colors were slightly better on the MiA1 when compared to the Redmi Note 5 Pro. The MiA1 also has an advantage that it has 4K video recording, which is not available right now on the Redmi Note 5 Pro, but hopefully with an update it will be implemented to it. But overall, for the EIS feature and good clarity, we give a thumbs up to the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now moving on to the pictures, there are some sample shots of both these devices. So let's see which one is doing a better job. In this picture, as you can see, the dynamic range is simply a lot better on the Redmi Note 5 Pro, whereas on the MiA1, if you noticed, it's a lot darker. Even in this shot, clearly the Redmi Note 5 Pro did a lot better job than the MiA1. As you can see the skies and the background, and again this shows how good is the dynamic range. And here again clearly the Redmi Note 5 Pro is doing a far better job than the MiA1. Now let's talk about the bokeh effect of both the phones. As you can see, in terms of bokeh effect, both produce a good background blur, but the MiA1 picture was a lot more brighter. There is a color difference on both of them as well. The Note 5 Pro, the picture is slightly on the warmer side. In this sample of low lighting condition, the Note 5 Pro's picture looks slightly brighter, and when we zoom in, as you can see in terms of sharpness, the Redmi Note 5 Pro is sharper than the MiA1. Now moving to the front-facing camera, clearly the Redmi Note 5 Pro is much better than the MiA1 as it has 20-megapixel camera rather than the 5-megapixel camera in the MiA1. As mentioned earlier, the Redmi Note 5 Pro has the portrait mode in its front-facing camera, as you can see in these sample shots. However, one thing is for certain, the video recording is much better on the 5 Pro due to the EIS, and the 5-megapixel front-facing camera on the MiA1 is no match for the 20-megapixel unit on the 5 Pro. So now, as overall you can see that the Redmi Note 5 Pro is the clear winner. So that's all for today guys. Be sure to hit the like button. Thanks for watching, this is Techtitude. See you in the next one.